Hello, this is Juan Ventura from Period 4, A-Day, doing advanced band 10-minute video report of on Elements, so music video 8 through 10. The music videos being melody, harmony, texture, form and structure, and classical forms. First, I want to talk about the melody. In the melody video that we went over in class, it said some important parts like the chords are multiple pitches at once, and it told us about like I want to say 3 or 4 different types of chords and their names. So I want to start off with that being one pitch of the chord would be called unison. Unison because unison is like together, and all together equals like is one thing. So that's why I would say it's one pitch. That's what I understand. A two pitches would be named as dyads. I personally think it would be named as dyads because the D in Spanish stands for dos, like two of something, like 2 apples is dos manzanas, and then 3 pitches is called triads. Triads would be more like, it would be called triads because the T and the R at the beginning, and also in Spanish, 3 is tres. Tres meaning like, I have 3, for example, again, I have 3 bananas. Tres bananas. Triads sounds more like 3. So that would be reasonable for it to be named like triads and stuff. And then if there are 3 or more pitches in the chord, it would be called chord itself. Because as I said before, in the definition for chords, it's multiple pitches at once. And if it's 3 or more, which is, multiple pitches at once, it would be reasonable for it to be called chords. There's also a thing called primary melody, where it's mainly it's the thing you hear the most, like the melody you hear the most out of the song, and more like in depth of that. And another one thing I want to talk about is the counter melody. The counter melody is like the secondary melody, like the stuff you hear, like other than the primary melody which you're hearing for, like the stuff you hear other than that. And something else I want to get into is called bass line. Or, yeah, bass line. Bass line. It would be the outlining chordal structure. So, it would be like, how do I explain this? It would be like the music, I would say. The outline of the music and stuff like that. That's the most important notes that I took out of the melody. Now I want to talk about the second video that we saw, which was the texture. So in the texture, it talks about 2 things, 2 main important things. One being monophonic. Monophonic is like a single melody, nothing else. Just, the primary melody that you would hear in a song, it would just be that primary melody and nothing else. Just that. For example, an example could be Gregorian chant. The melody in Gregorian chant is like a string. It's like there's nothing other to it than just the music. So if if you hear the music, writing it would be more of an example. It would be something like this. Sorry, an example would be this. So if you go into a music You go into music and it's this. Let me. It would be something like this. This would be a type of melody, and then it would be more of a type of string. More of a type of string that would go in the melody. And then another thing that was mentioned was homophonic. Homophonic is like the sheet music, something like that. The music is independent. The music is like more independent to where you hear the singer. So it would look something like this. The music would look something like this. Instead of just a string, it would have more to it. And so those are some of the important things that we're talking about in the texture video, which is the second one that we saw. Now I want to talk about the third video, the form and structure. In the form and structure, they talked about something called binary. Binary is a piece of music with two sections. So in the music, it would be something like, a first part of the music would be something like bum 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 bum, and then the second part of the song would be this. Let's see, section B. It would be like bum 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 bum. So it would be bum 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 bum. So it's mainly just A B. So A B in the first part and B in the second section. It would be more of that. Just like A B A B A B A B would be more of the song. And then something else they talked about, and other than binary form, is ternary form, which is a piece of music with three sections, but the first comes around. So let's say a different song. Let's say ba-dum bum 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 would be the first section. Do 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 would be section B. Ba ba bum ba bum bum would be section C. Do 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 bop would be section D. So would be mainly the song would be mainly like the first section, the second section was in section B, so section A, section B, section C, and then section D. So it would go back to section A on the same like song, just different section. So it would be something like A, B, C, D, A, C, D, B, A. You're always gonna go back to A after you play the four sections, or like how many sections you have in the song. So that's what I want to talk about. And I want to talk about like the video itself. Form and structure are used to describe the order of the sections. Yeah, like as I was saying, the section A, B, C, and D, which is the binary form would be section A and B, constantly like back like A and B, A and B, A and B, A and B. And then the ternary form would be something like A, B, C, D, A, C, D, B, A, D, B, C, A. Something like that. That would be more, and the form and structure just tells you everything about it. I want to go into the last video, which is the classical forms. I want to talk about something like little subsection that they gave us about the video, which was like rondo, sonata, concerto, and the symphony. And theme variation also was mentioned in there. So for the ronda alternates between A sections and each of the other sections. So it'd be A, section D, A, section C, A, section B, A, section D, and stuff like that. And then another thing I want to talk about is sonata. Sonata has a subsection, which would be the exposition, which is the sections where the composer presents two melodic themes. It would be like two melodies put together in a song. Another thing that they talked about was a concerto, which is a soloist is featured within the song. So it would be like, kind of like opera where you hear the person in the background other than the music singing. Another thing they talked about was symphony. The symphony is like a form of classical music. There's like really not like nothing in depth of it. It's just another form of classical music. The last important thing they talked about was theme and variation, which is the theme and variation first presents a theme, then several altered or modified versions of the theme. So it would present the original theme, and then it would give you the modified versions of that were modified to the theme, which would make sense. And that's what I got from each video, which was melody versus harmony, texture, form and structure, and classical forms. Those are the notes that I got from the music.